that cute slash sexy slash hot panty is definitely not worth all this pain. Okay, so let's talk about the hair down there. It is basically like a mini pad. It's hot, it's humid, we're sweating, things tend to get a little stinky, and this video had to be made. So if you're new to my channel, I'm Kavya, and this video is all about feminine hygiene and grooming. A video I wish I had access to when I was a lot younger, so confused, so lost. Yeah, so I really wanted to make this video. All the information, tips, tricks, hacks that I'm going to be sharing in this video can be applied all around the year, because there's never an ideal time for personal grooming and hygiene, but especially now when we are alternating between summer and monsoon and it's so humid and so hot, all of this information will only make your life a lot more easier. So while I'm not an expert in this area and definitely not a gynec, these are things that personally work for me. These are tips and tricks that I have learned along the way, a lot of information that I have read up on over the years, and things that really work and are super effective and actually really simple, because I really feel that personal hygiene and grooming is of such importance, and female hygiene and grooming is especially something that is not so often spoken about. So yeah, without wasting any further time, let's get straight into this video, but make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any update. So first things first, let's talk about body odor. Now body odor is completely natural and normal. It can be due to various reasons. Now because of the fact that body odor is completely normal and natural, it's crazy how many people can tend to overlook this very first basic step of personal hygiene. It's an amazing feeling to be smelling and feeling fresh all through the day, and it doesn't really take too much to get that going. What I want to talk about is that smelling good isn't necessarily a thing that you should take into consideration only when you are socializing or stepping out or going to office. In fact, I work from home and I still make sure that I am using a natural deodorant when I am at home after my shower. I make sure that I use a light body mist or a little perfume even when I'm working through the day, and trust me, it can make such a big difference in lifting your mood and just smelling good. And whoever comes in contact with you, you are not smelling of sweat and stink, and yeah, that's just gross. And you know what, nobody's gonna come and tell you that you aren't necessarily smelling your best. So the funny part is that everyone around you is going to realize that you don't really smell good, and that isn't really a nice place to be in. So first things first, after your shower, make sure you're using a deodorant. I know so many people who don't realize that a perfume, a deodorant and a mist spray all perform different functions, and they are not really replaceable. So deodorant essentially helps you fight body odor, which means that all you need to do is shower and apply your deodorant. It could be a stick, it could be a spray, whatever works for you, nicely all over your underarms, because that is one area where you tend to really sweat. Also in today's times, there are a bunch of deodorants available in the market, ranging from the chemical based to the natural ones, and you can try out a bunch of different ones, do your research, find out what really works for you, and then just include this step in your daily routine. Now I'm very sure you already have a bunch of perfumes. I know I love my perfumes, and I have a bunch of them right there on my vanity area. So when you're ready, go ahead and spritz your favorite perfume on your pulse points, and just make sure that you are smelling really nice before you step out. You can also carry a mini version of a perfume in your bag if you are someone who has really long days, and when you think that your body odor might be acting up a little, just spritz a little and you're good to go. Now one of the reasons that causes body odor is excessive sweating, which brings me to my second point, which is sweat pads. Now I don't really sweat too much, so I've never had to use them, but I know a couple of my friends who have this issue with excessive sweating, and these sweat pads are super duper useful when it comes to excessive sweating. So now, while this is not something that you might want to use on a daily basis, but say if you have a party to go to or a function to attend, this is a great idea. You just need to stick it like you would stick a pad to your blouse or your dress, and that's it. It absorbs all the sweat, which means that you're not going to be having that very visible sweat mark, and that's not going to ruin your special day. So make sure you invest in this and have these handy if this is something that really concerns you. Thirdly, let's talk about body hair. Now, this is something that is super personal. It really varies from one girl to the other. Some people do not like having body hair. They take every measure to stay body hair free, whereas some girls are completely fine with having body hair and they embrace it as it is, and that's perfectly fine. It's a very personal call. So what I'm going to be doing today is showing you some of the hacks and things that I use to get rid of body hair. Let's talk about facial hair. I have spoken about these facial razors in one of my grooming videos that I did earlier. I absolutely love this stuff. I struggled with facial hair for such a long time. When I was in my college, I had a lot of facial hair and I didn't really know what to do. I wasn't really too fond of bleaching because I didn't want to look like a lioness because it leaves you with this golden hair. I know it really works very well for some girls who have a lighter complexion because it doesn't really look that obvious, but for someone like me who has a whitish to dusky complexion, bleaching wasn't really an option. I was too scared to shave my face, and laser didn't seem like a feasible option back then when I was in college. So it was only much later when I discovered the beauty of this facial razor, and it's been life-changing. Do let me know if you want me to make an exclusive video dedicated to how I use this to get rid of all my facial hair, because I'd love to do that. So yeah, this is what it looks like. It has a blade like this. It's not too sharp. I will try and link down a couple of facial razors for you guys, and yeah, I just use this to get rid of any facial hair that I have on my forehead, on my jawline. I've been doing this for the last 3 to 4 years, and I completely swear by this. Okay, so now when it comes to my arms and my legs, I used to wax for all through my school years and even through my college years, but then with a hectic work lifestyle and with all the travel that I was doing, it was too difficult to try and squeeze in waxing appointments and things like that. So I just started using a razor. Now, this was something that my mom was really against. I don't think she still approves of me using a razor, but trust me, it's so convenient, it's so simple, and I personally don't see any side effects at all. So the razor that I love is this one. It's by Gillette. It's the Venus range, and this one's really good. It has this 3 blades, and it has this head which is flexible, which means that you really get a good shave every time you use it. Now, one important thing that I want to talk about is there were times when I was not using this razor. I was using a locally bought razor from the chemist, and I didn't see such good results when it came to getting rid of my hair. And I really feel like this one, which is specially designed for women and it has these 3 blades, is super effective. I can see a big difference ever since I switched to this. And the next thing that completely changed my hair removal routine is this product. It's also by Gillette. It's called the Gillette Satin Care Sensitive Skin Shave Gel with Aloe Vera. Now, I had heard a lot about shaving gels, but I didn't really think too much into it until this came in one of the PR packages. This video is not at all sponsored. Everything that I'm talking about are products that I genuinely love. So yeah, this came in a PR package. It's basically like this. You have a nozzle, and it smells so good. Yeah, so basically you just take a little bit of product on your arms, on your legs. It has a gel-like consistency, and the moment you rub it, it really foams up, and then you go on with your razor and start removing your hair, and trust me, the razor glides on like magic. The hair is gone in minutes. And like I told you, this specific variant, I haven't tried any other variant. This one is the aloe vera one, and it smells so good. It smells so fresh, and in summer this is amazing. Like, you will see such a big difference. I feel like this combination of shaving gel and this razor has been an absolute game changer for me. And I also feel like my hair doesn't grow back as quickly as it did when I was not using this combination. Okay, so let's talk about the hair down there. Now again, I was so lost, so confused. As friends, we would discuss as to, you know, what is the best way to take care of your hair down there. It's again something that is up to you. Some girls like to just keep it the way it is. Some like to really go clean and get rid of all that hair. So to each their own. But there are a variety of things that you can use to get rid of the hair down there. But I really feel like you have to be so gutsy to go ahead and wax yourself down there. I for one have never had the guts to get myself waxed down there. It just sounds so scary. But I know a lot of my friends who do this on a regular basis, and they say that it's not too bad. You get used to it. The hair obviously is removed from the roots, so it takes a lot longer to grow back and things like that. So now you can look up a variety of ways to address the pubic hair if it really bothers you, right from trimming it so as to keep it in check, or completely getting rid of it. There are so many ways of dealing with it. You can also go ahead and get yourself one of these bikini trimmers. They are readily available in the market today, and this is really easy, compact, handy, and super safe to use. The blades here are not too sharp, and it takes care of the fact that you don't hurt yourself when you're going down the bikini line. And yeah, the one that I have is actually pretty cool because you can change the head of this and connect your epilator and use that also. So basically this comes with various attachments. So this is a pretty cool gadget to own when it comes to feminine grooming and hygiene. And yeah, I'll try and link a couple of them down below for you in case you don't already have one and would like to check them out. So in conclusion, I guess it's a really personal choice as to what you want to do with your hair down there. But the way I look at it, it's all about keeping it super clean, staying hygienic, and especially during that time of the month you want to be extra careful so as to keep the hygiene really good there, because you don't want to be down with fungal infection or any bacterial infection or anything of that sort. So just figure out a routine that works for you and yeah, stick to it. Also, if you guys are enjoying this video, please spare a minute to give it a thumbs up. It really motivates me to create more content for you guys right here. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, what are you even up to? Hit the subscribe button right now, and don't forget to hit the bell button so that you know every time I post a new video. So I'm not going to be talking about pads, tampons, menstrual cups and things like that, because I guess we all have it figured, or so I hope. But I really wanted to speak about panty liners, because this is something that I didn't know about for a very long time, and ever since I found out about them, it's been an absolute game changer and such a relief. So in case you don't know what a panty liner is, it's essentially a mini version of a pad. It's really small. I have one pack that I'm currently using with me. This one is the Carefree Flexi Comfort. I honestly was using a whole different bunch of brands when I was back in India. You don't find them so easily right here, so I'm kind of trying out a couple of new ones now in Dubai, and yeah, this is something that I'm trying out for the first time. So they come packaged like this. It's really small, really tiny, and when you open it out, it is basically like a mini pad. Okay, it's super thin, and you go ahead and stick this on to your panty like you would use a pad. Times that I use this is usually before or after my chums. So when I know I'm going to be chumming in a day or two, but I'm out and about, I will go ahead and paste this on my panty. That way there is this huge mental relief, because you're out and about, you go to the washroom, you see a bit of spotting, you know you started chumming, and then you stick to your routine as per usual, but you are not going to be staining your panty. So this is not meant for heavy blood flow, but basically for things like spotting, which also means I use this after my periods, because like most girls, there tends to be a bit of spotting a day or two after your periods are over, and you don't necessarily need to wear your pad or your tampon through the whole duration of that time when it's just going to be a bit of spotting. So this is really good. You just paste this onto your panty, and because it's so thin, you won't even realize that you have something on. Yeah, if you've never tried a panty liner before but you struggle with the issues that I mentioned earlier, you might want to give panty liners a try, because they're so easy, so compact. Put them in your purse and you're good to go. So now let's talk underwears. I think every girl is guilty of having two sections of underwears. One are those really pretty, hot and sexy looking ones with, you know, like bright colors, synthetic and thongs and lace, and basically not breathable, uncomfortable underwears. And then there's this other section, which is your cotton boxers, grandma panties that go all the way up, and really basic cotton looking bra panties, which are so comfortable. You'd be really surprised to know that the kind of underwear that you wear on a regular basis has a great correlation to your vaginal health. Regular use of panties that are made up of synthetic fabrics like nylon, polyester, spandex and things like that just increase your chances of developing yeast or a bacterial vaginal infection, and you don't want that happening. And in summer and humid conditions, you are also more prone to developing rashes and cuts down there, which can be so painful. So what you can do is save those panties for, you know, one-off occasions here and there, and stick to your lycra and spandex when you know your outfit really demands it. But as far as possible for everyday use, try and stick to the good old breathable cotton fabrics, and trust me, you will thank me later. That cute slash sexy slash hot panty is definitely not worth all this pain. So steer away as far as possible. And the same also applies for thongs. While they are absolutely great when it comes to some outfits where you don't want the panty line showing, you don't want to stick to wearing really tight thongs on a daily basis, because it's going to do you more damage than good. So yeah, just look up and read more information on this if you want, but my suggestion is try and stick to really nice breathable cotton panties. And yeah, now it's completely normal to have a vaginal odor. It is really natural, so do not worry or overthink it, unless of course it reaches a stage wherein it's becoming unbearable, or it's smelling really fishy, and you know you're not really sure about what's happening, it feels a little odd. Go and see a gynec. But otherwise, it's completely normal to have a natural odor down there. It's only a sign that you're healthy, you're doing good, and it's body's way of keeping things clean and healthy down there. So as far as the hygiene down there is concerned, steer away from using too many chemical based products, and that also includes soap, because it can really F up the pH balance down there, and that's not something that you want, because you know that area is really delicate, it's really sensitive. So steer away from all of that. Just usual lukewarm water and you're good to go. You don't need too much, unless of course you're on your periods and you know you really need to go the extra mile to keep things really clean and hygienic down there. Then you could always use a product like a V-Wash, or there are so many other washes that are specifically made for your vaginal area. You can totally go ahead and use that during that time, but it's not something that I'd recommend using on a daily basis, because you don't need to. It's completely normal, unless of course it's been prescribed by your gynec or something like that. Steer away from chemicals as far as possible. That's all that I can tell you. And really don't overthink the natural odor. Everyone has it and it's only healthy. So yeah. So that's a wrap on this video. I know there was a lot of information coming your way which you didn't possibly expect in this video, but I really wanted to make this video, and I hope that you found something useful that you can adopt in your regular hygiene and grooming routine. Do let me know in the comments below if there's anything that you practice which I might have possibly missed. It's great to learn more and know more. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss my next upload, which is actually going to be a really fun video that I've been so excited to share for such a long time. So hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any update, and until the next video, bye, stay safe, stay happy and stay hygienic.